Hey everybody, I want to give you some big advice in English. Stop using Google Translate. That's the topic for today's show. Please listen. Okay, Hikari, take it away.
皆さんこんにちは。毎日少しずつ社交に使える英語の上達を目指すソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストへようこそ。今日はぜひもっと自信を持って英会話してみましょう。 Are you ready, Percy? Let's go!
Okay, Hikari, thank you for that great intro as always. Thank you for listening to the Social English Podcast. I am your host, Percy.Welcome to the podcast. If you are new, once again, welcome. Konnichiwa. And thanks for coming. Okay. If you are a returning listener, I really appreciate and value you listening to my podcast. Please tell your friends so they can learn a little more social English as well.Today, we're going to talk about Google Translate. I often see many Japanese English students that are learning English rely on Google Translate. This is okay in the beginning, but you need to understand something.Google Translate is often wrong. That's right. Google Translate is often wrong. It's not the word, but the meaning behind the word that is wrong in that conversation.This is really difficult for speaking to someone in English. Now, if this is a problem for you, don't worry. I will give you an example from a Japanese learner of English, a Japanese student who's learning English at an Eikaiwa, and I will explain to you the differences and what's wrong. But first, as with every episode, I first want you to prepare to listen to English and learn. How? I want you to picture you and I at your favorite cafe. You've invited me, Percy, your American friend, your favorite American friend, to sit down and talk about English. Do you hear the sounds around us? Yes, all the people speaking in English at this cafe. We have our favorite coffee and maybe a snack. Today,As we're sitting down, relaxing, and just talking as friends, I want to talk to you about a big problem with English and learning English, and that is Google Translate. So my advice is that I want you to be careful, be very careful. 危ない Be careful with Google Translate. The direct translation of English words given by Google Translate are sometimes wrong. When you type in what you want to say in Japanese, the result that comes out may be very strange. To an English listener. Many Japanese expressions don't work well using Google Translate. Let's look at this in a real example. This is a listener to the podcast who typed in something from Google Translate and asked me to fix this. When I saw what he typed, I noticed that it sounded very strange to an English listener. So, let's talk about this. This is what was said by Google Translate in English using the Japanese to English translation. My listener typed this in Japanese in hiragana and katakana and kanji, and this is the result. Let's listen sentence by sentence. So please listen very carefully. I was indebted 2 years ago. When I started going here, I asked the trainer to create a menu for free. And I was able to lose 6 kilograms while gaining muscle. Okay, let me say it one more time. I was indebted 2 years ago. When I started going here, I asked the trainer to create a menu for free. And I was able to lose 6 kilograms while gaining muscle. Okay, so the listener started going to a gym to get in shape or increase their physical fitness. They want to explain this. So let's give the correct way to say these sentences using social English. Okay, let's start. 2 years ago, I had lots of debt. When I started going here, I asked the trainer for a free training program. It worked great. I lost 6 kilograms and gained muscle mass. One more time. 2 years ago, I had lots of debt. When I started going here, I asked the trainer for a free training program. It worked great. I lost 6 kilograms and gained muscle mass. Okay. Hope you listened to that correct way of stating what you want to say in the passage. So let's talk about this. Let's go sentence by sentence. First, I will say the listener's Google translated English. Then I will say the corrected social English version. And then I will explain what is wrong and why I used the words I used. Okay? Please listen carefully. Sentence 1. I was indebted 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had lots of debt. We don't want to say indebted, even though it was past tense in this sentence, because it doesn't come across naturally in English language. You would not say I was indebted when we speak to someone in our communication. You would say I had a lot of debt, I had lots of debt, and so on. Okay? So you don't want to say indebted in this case. Number 2. When I started going here, I asked the trainer to create a menu for free. When I started going here, I asked the trainer for a free training program. Okay, in Japan, I know that menu or course is used many times when expressing buying services. In English, we do not use the words course or menu unless we are talking about food. Okay? So we're not talking about food. We're talking about training, physical fitness. So we don't want to use the word menu or course. Okay? So let's go through that one more time. Here is the social English version. When I started going here, I asked the trainer for a free training program. So you would not say menu, you'd say free training program. Okay, the last sentence. Okay, last sentence, Google Translate version first. And I was able to lose 1 kilogram while gaining muscle. It worked great. I lost 6 kilograms and gained muscle mass. Now, the Google Translate version is not bad. It's not bad, but it's not very... There's two things wrong with it. 2 things. The first, it is not a social expression of English, how you would speak to someone when you're talking to them. The second problem, it is a bit what we would say stale, and it's missing some detail to understand exactly what you mean clearly. Now, let's talk about the social English portion. The social English portion is you want to tell the person how you felt about the result. It was great. It worked fine. It worked out well. It was amazing. I am so glad with the results. These are expressions you want to use when talking about something like this. Something that happened positively as a result. So that is the social English portion. The second portion is stale or not completely clear. So we want to say, with physical fitness, I gained muscle mass. Now you can say, if you say I gained muscle, we understand that your muscle, you got more muscle. that is understood, but to be a little bit more clear, so your English is understood clearly, you want to use the words muscle mass in this situation. I gain muscle mass. Okay? All right. That is that's pretty much it. So those are the big reasons why we want to stay away, not use the Google Translate all of the time. You want to try to stay away from that and only use it as a guide. Okay? Because, again, many Japanese expressions, when you want to speak in English, they don't come out clearly in Google Translate. Okay, thank you for spending time for me today. I know that you learned something valuable from today's episode. Please come visit us at realsocialenglish.com where you can get my free download, the 7 mistakes most Japanese learners of English make, and how you can fix them. You will also find more resources to help you get better at English every day. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, and now Pandora. Become a patron. Help the show by donating at least $5 US to help us keep this show going. I will use it to buy more equipment and help make the show better for you. We will show you our thanks by personally thanking you on a future episode. You will also get new content only available there. Join us at patreon.com/social English. That's patreon.com/SOCIALENGLISH. Share our podcast on your social media with your friends and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I will see you next time. It was great talking to you today. Thank you for spending time with me. I enjoy it every single time. Hikari, take it away.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.